Hey, what's up? I've got some more lore content for you guys. So the patch 4.2.0 notes just dropped, and I'm really excited to see what the changes are going into next patch. I'll try my best to provide context on how I think each change is going to affect the meta. This is also the first time I'm seeing these changes, so this will be my initial reaction and first impression of the game moving forward. With that, let's get Detective Tempo on the case. So, getting right into it, welcome to the first variety patch of 2023. For this variety patch, we wanted to help each region really get back to its roots. These new cards help exemplify what a region does by reinforcing some of their strategies that need the support. We've got some fun new cards in store for you, check out the details below. Alright, so we're starting off with some new cards. We'll probably get to the balance changes right after. Ceaseless Sentry. 2 mana, 2/1, last breath, draw 1. Whoa! They killed Avarosian Sentry. He's now a ghost for Shadow Isles. Okay, so while the Avarosian Sentry has always been a bit of a strange fit for the Freljordian Tundras, we think the Ceaseless Sentry can find a second life in Shadow Isles control and slay strategies. So that means like these self-kill stuff, things like Callista, things like Thrashnasus, Kindred as well. This is going to be a very good card to drop on 2, and then Ravenous Butcher it for draw 1. It's a glimpse target later. It can be a hate spike target. This is an absolutely fantastic card for Shadow Isles. Definitely an auto include in a lot of strategies moving forward. Next we have Generous Gem Crafter, 3/2/3. When you play a spell, grant a random ally in hand +1/+1. The Gem Crafter is happy to lend her services to a lot of different Targon strategies, whether she's helping your Kale level up, pushing a Bard to critical doot range, or even just letting Invoke decks double down on even more future value. She should grant you a smoother experience. A 3/2/3, I mean, that's a little bit to invest in, especially right on turn 3, then you have to play spells afterwards, and then that's when she starts generating value, and then you have to play the buffed cards, and then that's when it all comes full circle. So it seems like it's going to be a pretty good strategy for Kale for sure. It is random effect, so it might hit things that you don't want it to hit. But overall, this is a pretty solid card. I can see it definitely being played in these Kale and Bard strategies as it's mentioning. So we have a 3/4/4 Elite, blocking Badger Bear. Yo, Badger Bear back? I can block units with Elusive. Whoa, just a 3/4/4 that can block Elusive. Has Perma, Sharp Sight effect. We want to help Demacia get back to one of its core strengths, plopping down a big old pile of beefiness and daring your opponents to do something about it. Editor's tip, in spite of its name, the blocking Badger Bear is also quite good while attacking. Yes, it is. It's also an elite, guys. Think about the elite tag. So this is definitely going to be an auto-include in the Garen Jarvan list. That's already pretty decent. It should be even better now. It's also a common, so very easy card to craft and get a hold of. Next we have Banana Blaster. That's a good name. 4 mana 2/2. Alright, pretty weak stat line. Play. Deal damage equal to my power to a unit. It is a Bandle City. So on play, deal 2, bare minimum. If we buff this with the aforementioned Generous Gem Crafter, or it's getting chimed and stuff like that, then of course it will deal more on summon. It's also a skill unit, so it can be played in Jin Annie. But Jin Annie doesn't run any buffs, so meh. We think Nanners may show up in standard Bandle strategies that can see the appeal of the 2/2 body with a good sized ping. Looking at you, Noxus. But he can also foster some hand buff strategies with either Targon or Bard that get him so big he can make any opposing threat go splat. Yeah, you want to ramp this up to like 5. Like 4 or 5 is awesome. You could pretty much hit everything in the game at that point. That's pretty cool. Alright, Priestess. This is a Sharima card. 6/4/4, Priestess of Desert Light. Round start, deal 4 to me. Draw a champion, or if your deck started with 6 different champions, summon it. Round start, deal 4. So kill self, unless you're buffing it somehow. Draw a champion, or if your deck started with 6 different, just summon it outright. That is really cool. Sharima loves their champions, and the Priestess is no exception. Although you will face a large deck building cost to prove your devotion, the payoff of a free Aurelian Soul might just be worth it. This is a very polarizing effect. In some world where 6 champions, so the first thing I thought of course, was Ascendants. If we could get a couple more Ascendants in the game, or if we run, like, let's say Ziggs and Talia, and then the 4 Ascended champs, honestly, we have a high chance of hitting one of the Ascendants, right? So that's kind of interesting to think about. Really cool card. Next we have P and Z card. 6 mana burst speed, draw 2, refill your spell mana. Huh? Huh? What? A quick math problem for you. 6C plus burst plus 3 mana refund plus 2 cards equals X, where X can equal any number of Piltover spell-based strategies or just a larger dividend for Albus Pharos if you're a finance major. I don't know what's going on with the math. Yo, I did not graduate with a math degree. I was not expecting to do math in my digital card game. Get this out of here. What I do see, though, is 6 mana burst speed, draw 2, refill spell mana. So this is going to be absolutely broken in Jace Lux. This is going to be absolutely broken in a lot of Piltover strategies that like drawing, which is like every Piltover strategy because draw is premium. Yeah, that's really broken. It's basically spend 3 mana, as long as you do have 6, to draw 2. 3 mana, draw 2. It's Arcane Intellect from Hearthstone. We got it. Okay. But it also has Jace synergy and Lux synergy. Okay, Jace Lux is just the best deck in the game after this, no doubt. Sure, Winter's Touch. 4 mana, Freljord card. Get an empty mana gem. Enlighten, I cost 1. Draw 1. Okay, so yeah, this is it's trying to fix the reoccurring problem of these gain a mana gem type effects, the ramping cards. Once you get to turn 10, they kind of just die in hand and do nothing. This one, at least, you know, you cost 1, draw 1, you just trade it in. I like that. And it's a burst speed mana gem early. This is just probably like the best one now. You pay 1 more mana to heal for 3 with Catalyst, or you pay 1 more mana for Wild Mysticism and you get a body. This is just kind of nice. This is just 4 mana burst speed, pure ramp. So yeah, ramp strategies are definitely eating good on the rise. We're always needed to walk a fine line with Freljord's mana ramping effects. Incredibly potent when drawn early, fairly weak when drawn late. To solve this, Winter's Touch does a cool trick. Yeah, I like it. That is a good trick. Next we have a Spider, 6/3/6, Skulking String Polar. Attack. Grow other attacking allies' power to mine this round. Okay. Although the String Polar is a spider, don't let your arachnophobia keep you from trying her out in any number of Noxus go-wide strategies. With the ability to share her own buffs, throwing a few buffs her way can let you wrap up the game in no time. Yeah, but like, what buffs? Like, the thing is, this is kind of screaming Targon Noxus to me. Sort of like Taric. Darius style of beatdown decks where you want to buff this thing. So we have to run a second region that actually has good buffs, especially permanent ones, before getting attack value. Otherwise it's just throwing everything to 3, which is kind of mid. And Noxus doesn't have an innate way to perma buff allies, especially not aggressive or like super fast mid-range ones. So that's pretty interesting. Ionia, 7/3/6 Lifesteal. When I'm summoned, reduce the cost of spells in your deck by half. Rounded up. I don't like that. Just really big AoE spell discount in deck. Karma's gonna double cast those. We're basically going to have Seraphine Part 2, the Electric Boogaloo, in the form of Karma. That's interesting. Alright, while Ionia has had success with late game strategies in the past, we wanted to give those decks a real payoff for taking your match into the later turns. With a solid lifesteal body, the Sky Singer can usually help buy you enough time to take advantage of the huge magical discounts that you've been gifted. Yeah, it's definitely going to pull that off. This is pretty much played for like Karma and stuff like that. Bilgewater, 5/3/4. When you play a spell, summon a powder keg. While Funsmith has been pulling some neat tricks over in Piltover, we wanted to make sure Bilgewater could also get in on the joy of the damage amplification. While the Mirai will boost your warning shots, the real trick is weaving in non-damaging spells to build up to a big boom at the end. 5/3/4, pretty mid stat line. When you play a spell, summon a powder keg. Okay, so you do a spell that doesn't do damage, then you do damage. Then you do a spell that doesn't do damage, then you do damage, right? It kind of wants to do weaving, like spell weaving. Pretty interesting. When you play a spell, like powder keg. Okay, yeah, this can also just be like perma powder keg per damage spell, so it's not really that complicated. It's just we get powder kegs whenever we cast. That's pretty cool. I'm not really sure what identity it fits. It comes down on 5, so it contests GP, who's also a powder keg champ. It also makes it kind of hard for Sedge to find value, because you want to play GP into Sedge. Would you play this on 7? Probably not. So I'm not really sure where it fits, but maybe there will be a deck for it. Alright, card adjustments. We're down to the patches. Okay, cool. the changes. We have Riven, level up I see Blade of Exile in hand. 2, level up you have created Blade of the Exile. So this basically means you can cast her slow speed buff on something else, and then draw her later, play her, and she'll come out summoned. Or leveled. That's cool. This is just a slight sharpening of Riven's Blade. While we don't think it will affect our win rate too much, we do hope it makes it a bit less awkward to use your blade before you find the Exile. Yeah, I mean, that's completely chill. Just makes it a little bit more consistent. If you don't open Riven, she comes out leveled later. Not bad. Don't lose a lot of value. Don't have to remake the blade. Love that. Is that it for champions? Whoa, wait. It went from a champion straight to a unit. Okay. So, Silverwing Vanguard is now, instead of on summon, on play. The lore meta has been dominated by Silverwing Vanguard for far too long, so we're finally ending the reign of this oppressive avian. Actually, it's a weird example where the text of the card technically broke the rules of the game, so we're making a slight downgrade in order to fix it, and a number of errant bugs that came with it. So if this card is summoned from, let's say, Nora Portal or something like that, it will not generate a copy. It's only on play now if you play it directly from hand. This is where the change comes in. That's really not a super big deal for elites. I don't think elites are ever generating random vanguards. They're generating it to hand and then playing it from hand with the other Swiftwing thing, but we're not doing direct summons in elites. So yeah, this is just a text change, fix, bug fix. Yep, fix all the bugs, sure. Card buffs, Steam. There are no cards for Steam or Dami Mami. Let me try refreshing the page. Ah, here we are. Steam, going from a 6 cost to a 4 cost, but dropping some stats. It is a 5/5 to a 3/3. When I'm summoned, summon a husk, to now when I'm summoned, summon a husk. When you summon a 1 cost ally, grant the strongest enemy vulnerable. Whoa, this is cool. This is actually like a full-on rework. 4/3/3, so it can come down on turn 3 instead of Evelyn. It has Scout, so it could hit like Scout Elusive and be a secondary threat. I love that. When I'm summoned, summon a random. This is also really good for Kaisa, by the way, because now we get another Scout to play early, and then play Kaisa right after. When I'm summoned, summon a random husk. When you summon a 1-cost ally, grant the strongest enemy vulnerable. This is really strong. Steam is actually going to be an auto-include in Evelyn now. Ever since we moved Haste Spike back to 2 mana, Eve's been struggling to seduce anyone into actually playing her. We wanted to give a couple members of her non-SI supporting cast a chance to shine, so that there's a real reason to invite the Demoness into your deck. Yeah, this card's really good. Kaisa, also just Evelyn power in general. Dami Mami going from 2/1 to 2/2. This is an Azir Aurelia buff. This is a very good Azir Aurelia buff. However, I do believe Aurelia is being rotated quite soon, so maybe not a super big deal for a long time. Dami Mami, really good though. Nice. Vandal Painter. Change. Region from Bandle to Bandle and PNZ. It's a multi-region card now. Discard a card to create a random multi-region follower, to now discard a card to create another random multi-region follower and reduce its cost by 1. Very good discard card. The Bandle Painter has failed to make a real impression, so we're trying to modernize the card so it'll pop more and have a real renaissance by becoming a multi-region card itself. We can hope it be neoclassic that isn't totally Baroque in. Haha, I like that pun. That's actually really good. Baroque, I get it. Art joke. Bandle Painter. It all comes together. That's really funny. So, discard 1 to create a multi-region follower in hand, reduce its cost by 1. Really good with Rumble. It's a multi-region, so it has synergy with Tristana. It's a Yordle, so it has synergy with things that Trist usually run. I think this could be... Try it, and use it as like a Bandle City Mare. Not replacement, but a partner. That way we have double 3-drops that generate a card and reduce cost. This is just another Bandle City Mare for all intents and purposes. Mistfall. Each round the first time an equipped ally is equipped, refill 1 spell mana. To now, each round the first time an ally is unequipped, refill 2. Okay, so instead of refill 1, it's refill 2. When I'm summoned, draw an equipment. The first time each round an unequipped ally is equipped, refill 2. That's pretty good actually. All of a sudden it just pays for itself with a lot of weapons. Just literally pay for itself. Okay, it seems like this landmark has been missed by most players. Do we have Freak himself writing these patch notes? Because there's so many puns in here. So we're narrowing its effect to make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks. Yep. Wraith of Echoes from 6 cost to 5 cost makes a lot more sense. Rumor has it in Legends of Runeterra office, if you make a loud noise when you're alone in the office, the noise just reverberates and you can faintly hear the words buff Wraith Echoes, buff Wraith Echoes. Hopefully a lower cost version will resonate more with players. Yeah, it was coming down way too late trying to play the effect on 6 to get value. It just takes way too long. Maybe on 5 it will be doable now. It's kind of curves in between Wraith Collar and top end stuff, whether you're playing Hecarim, whether you're playing Viego, whatever you want to do with SI. Wraith of the Echoes can come down on 5 and then help you. So this it makes it a lot more sense in context of how Shadow Isles plays, but we'll see. Vaults of Helia going from 5 to 4. Yes, good change. Vaults is pretty bad. And then you know, having it come down 1 turn earlier means you set up a 3 cost, then you can play Vaults on 4, you get a 4 cost if your 3 dies, and then you can start ramping. Obviously, you want to hit the Undying, and then that turns into a 4, and then that's Croc, and then hopefully Croc doesn't die, you can turn that into a 5, or you can just keep ramping up with the Last Breaths. So yeah, it's really interesting. Having it come down on 4 is a lot better. Reveler's Feast from Burst of Focus. That is incredibly cringe. Wow, this kind of like really messes with the card in aggro, but I guess it's still fine for Vladimir decks, like Scarground stuff. Wow, that is a very hefty nerf and a very swift one. Reveler's Feast just came out. But we don't want to end the party. A Feast of the magnitude should require a little more prep. Okay. Atrocity. Fast to slow. Yo, this is a massive nerf. Why? Deep just caught Astray. Thresh Nasus has to hold this. Atrocity, what? Is this for Wraiths? Is this because Wraiths are so popular now? They run Harrowing, not even Atrocity. Why Atrocity nerf? Oh, Tristana control. But like, why now of all times? Let me see. Let me read the context. Atrocity has ended many a game since the birth of lore, but it's also consistently limited how large we can make a threat before it becomes a near instant win. With Tristana currently standing tall, we want to make Atrocity more of a commitment for decks that want to chuck a single large unit at the enemy's nexus. Yeah, but now everyone just caught this. Everyone has to hold the L. I feel so bad for Deep now, because that's like the main way Deep wins. Yeah, it can do it at slow speed, but using like fast Atrocity at the enemy's open is so nice. Oh well, yeah, that's wow. We lost an old card on this day. We lost one of the OG cards of Legends of Runeterra. Atrocity, rest in peace. It'll probably still be played, by the way. Wandering Shepherd, 2-2 to 2-1. Okay, that's fine. Ravun from 5-6 to 5-5. He was too good. Makes sense. Yeah, these are just simple HP nerfs. Not a lot of context. It's just like Wandering Shepherd's being abused in multiple decks. Ravun's been abused for multiple patches, so nerf these by 1. And that looks like it. That's it for the changes. Competitive. Huge shout out to all the support and participation. Starting March 10th, Daily Rumbles will now run from 10 a.m. server time to 2 a.m. So big time slot. Wow. Pretty much all day and all night. We've got a lot of feedback. Runeterra Open will be March 18th. Daily Rumbles will be providing a wider time frame. Daily Rumble schedule has been updated. Champions Unlimited, 30 HP, different formats. We want to show appreciation. Free build, we encountered unforeseen issue with the mode. Yeah, fix that. New Daily Rumble formats, here they are. Singleton, also going to be for Runeterra Open. Oh, interesting. Path of Champions, Thresh and Nami available. Hog, Path of Champions homies. You love that. Bug fixes. Fix an issue with certain interactions, blah blah blah. Vein is Aurelia. Issue with Dark and Harpoon's card text. Crimson Pigeon was missing its lightning bolt icon. Oh yeah, we need to keep that there. Otherwise the pigeon's just useless. Fix an issue where Vacathia and Fishfight could not be added to Jack's decks. Fix an issue where champions would not display equipped skins. Fix an issue where Petricite Charger was not displaying a blue lightning. Dude, what's up with the lightning icons? Let's fix that, yeah? 2 Seraphine, okay. Fix an issue with Gauntlet. Fix an issue, warning text. Capitalization. Senna was not properly accelerating. Castigate and Soul Cleave. Hey, let's go. Fix a bug where Senna was not properly accelerating. Castigate and Soul Cleave where it should. It should be fast speed. Let's go. Shout out to Rolly. Pog. And that's it for the patch rundown. Hopefully I was able to give some context. What decks I think cards are going to go in. What decks I think are being affected the most. And stuff like that. Of course, I'm very excited to see how the patch shakes out the meta and how the new cards are going to also revitalize some old region strategies. I am personally pretty sad we didn't get any direct support for archetypes this patch. A lot of people were saying we're probably going to get deep support, and that did not happen. In fact, we got a quick atrocity nerf, so now deep actually took a little slap on the wrist when it probably wasn't supposed to. So a little unfortunate we didn't get deep stuff, but that's all right. I'm still excited to see basically where this patch goes for the next month. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, gameplay highlights, and meta reports in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters!